Hey, welcome to our Clear Lake Nazarene YouTube channel. I'm bringing your devotion for tonight, or our devotion for tonight. And I've been thinking about how we have been interacting the last couple weeks. I saw a meme yesterday that kind of shows me where everyone is. There's a picture on top of a family sitting around they're all on their iPads. They're all in the same room, but nobody really knew there was anybody else in the room. Everyone's on their own individual iPad or phone, and it was captioned at the bottom of that picture that this was pre-coronavirus typical family. And then underneath that is another picture that has a family playing in the park. And it said quarantined family underneath it. And that's really what we've been experiencing the last couple weeks. Today I was sitting underneath a tree in the park, and a park that's very seldom ever used. There were people running there. There was people playing disc golf there, working out. Typically there is nobody in this park in the middle of the day, but people were all over the place. Why is that? Well, when I was a computer programmer, I worked all day long on computers. I spent my day in an office surrounded by computer screens, and when I came home, the last thing I wanted to do is sit in front of a computer screen. So I had a computer and a laptop sitting at home that were never used. This is our way of escaping the things that we have to do. We have to go to work. We have to go to school. We have to, you fill in the blank. And right now, because our have to is stay at home, we're finding ways to spend time outside. This past year or so, I've been spending time to make sure that I stop and slow down and see the beautiful things that God has made around me. If there's a beautiful sunset, I pull over in the car and I stop and watch it as the colors are going through the sky. Or if there's a sunset when I'm out running, I'll stop running and watch the sun come up. I was realizing that I was so busy doing the things that I felt like were important that I was missing on the beauty that God had given us. A couple years ago, I was staying in Colorado Springs with a friend, and we got up to leave the neighborhood. And when you're driving out of this neighborhood, you turn the corner, and it's just a typical neighborhood, but you turn the corner and you see this amazing backdrop of mountains. And it almost looked photoshopped. It looked like it was so perfect. It looked photoshopped. And I had this thought in my head that I wouldn't want to live there because I would never want to take that for granted. I would never want to pull out of that neighborhood and see that beautiful backdrop and never really appreciate what the beauty of that backdrop is. We have been given a lot of extra time. We've been given time because we're not going to baseball practice. We're not driving to school. We're not driving to work. We've been given all this extra time, and it is an opportunity for us to find time to focus on things like the beauty that God has for us. It has given us time to focus on things other than just being busy. And we get ourselves so busy in the day-to-day life that we don't see the blessings that are around us. Genesis 3:8 is talking about the Garden of Eden. And it was right after Adam and Eve had eaten of the forbidden fruit. And it says that God was walking through the Garden of Eden. Walking through the Garden of Eden. He was physically here on earth, walking through the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve. He was there with them daily. That's kind of cool to me. I'm going to read to you Revelation 21:3. And I heard a loud voice from a throne saying, "Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God." So the Garden of Eden, God was here on earth. In the end times, God will be here dwelling with us. And we're somewhere in the middle of that. We're somewhere in the midst of life. And in this in-between state, in between the Garden of Eden and the end times, God is still here. Even though we can't physically see him, God is still here. And I wouldn't want to be so busy with life that I can't see the beauty of God, that I can't see the presence of God, that I can't see the blessings of God. Use this time that we have, this extra time that we have, where we've slowed down a little bit, where we don't have to be at work 10, 12, 14 hours a day, where we don't have to be at school and doing homework and at baseball practice and running from one thing to another. Take this time to really look around you and see God working in your life. When all this is over, I don't want to look back and think that I was so busy that I missed out on what God had for us, for me. This is our devotion for the week. Just take this week and really focus on how much time you're spending doing things that are just busy work, and focus on slowing down a little bit and taking advantage of what you have. I'm out, but we will meet again next week and look forward to talking to you then.